Boom. Keep him coming.
What's going on, everyone? Bobbybarks here, and welcome back to part 10 of Bobby's journey here on FM23. This is my Journeyman series, where we start from humble beginnings and work our way to the top of the football pyramid. We are coming to a close with Gangwon FC here in South Korea. We've completed Asia, winning the championships in 3 different countries, and also winning the Continental Cup, the Asian Champions League. We also won the lesser known Continental Cup, which was the ASEAZN trophy, something like that, which is kind of like the Europa League for Asia. So we've kind of won everything available. We could go to other countries in Asia, but I don't really see the point. I think it's time to move continents. We've applied for a job and we've been offered a job. An interesting job, certainly a step up, and something new that we can go to, which I'm really excited to show you. But before we go, let's just close out where we are with Gangwon. We're coming to the mid-season area. We are first again, so I feel like we would have been on course to finish this season with another title win. I think we could have quite comfortably defended that title. We didn't get off to the best of starts. If you remember in the previous video, we lost the first 2 games of the season, but we've been very consistent since then. And this is the squad sorted by average rating. As you can see, they've been fantastic again, with the majority of the players having over 7.00 average rating, which is really, really good. I'm leaving them in a very, very good place, and I would expect them to at least be challenging up there. Not necessarily winning it, because Jeonbuk are still a very good side, and it's only through a bit of fortune, through them losing more games than they probably would normally, that we've ended up comfortably winning the league. So, you know, I think it's going to be between Gangwon and Jeonbuk for the foreseeable future. I think we've left Gangwon, or are going to leave Gangwon, in an exceptionally strong place. So this is the league table as we leave it. We lost those 2 opening games, and then we've drawn 2 games in the next 13, winning 11 of them. 35 points, we're a point clear of Jeonbuk with a game in hand. So hopefully, fingers crossed, whoever takes over will see it through and reclaim the title for Gangwon. I'm always going to keep an eye on them, as I do with Percy Kattegal, as I do with the CZ Mighty Lions. Always keep an eye on them and hopefully see them continue to be a successful team. I like to think that I'll leave clubs in a far better place than what they were when I first took over, and they will continue to not necessarily be dominant, but challengers up there for the foreseeable. So that's it for Gangwon. That's it for Asia. But where are we going next? Well, we're going to Mexico. Monterry FC have offered us the job. It became vacant. I applied for it. I declared my interest in it because I wasn't the favourite for the job. But once I declared my interest in the role, I did become the favourite for it, odds-on favourite to take over. And went through an interview and they offered me the role. There were a couple of other jobs in Mexico which were quite interesting, but this was the team I wanted to come to. It's a long time in FM since I've managed in Mexico, and Monterrey always used to be a fairly decent team when I watched world football in my younger years. I've not really kept up with them in recent years, so it's going to be interesting just to go in and have a look, see what they've won recently and see how they've done. But yeah, we're now going to be competing in North America, and we're going to be managing Monterrey, which hopefully are still a big club in Mexico. So they've got a 3.5-star reputation. They have a director of football and assistant manager, founded in 1945, and the fierce rivals are Tigres. They have a 52,000-seater capacity stadium, good training facilities, average youth facilities, good youth recruitment, transfer budget of 25 million, and a wage budget of just short of 600,000. So in terms of the club's history, they've got 2 closing stage championships, 3 opening stage championships. It's going to be one of them, isn't it? Is Mexico one of them, where they play the first half of the league and then have a winner, and then play the second half of the league and have a winner? Potentially. 2 Mexican Cups, 1 Mexican Cup opening stage, 6 North American Champions Leagues. That's quite impressive. 2 Interliga, whatever that is. 1 Leagues Cup, that looks like a nice trophy. 1 North American Cup Winners' Cup. And 2 Mexican second divisions. So enjoying their greatest era during the 2010s, Los Rayados have a history they can be proud of, boasting a total of 20 competition wins. Here are just some of their highlights. Winning Mexican top division 5 times, finished runner-up 7 times, Mexican Cup opening stage in 2018, and finished runners-up once. Won the Mexican Cup in 1992 and 2020, and finished second best 2 further times. Have 6 North American Champions League wins to their name, and finished runners-up once. So this is the squad sorted by ability. Looks okay. Doesn't look the best, I'll be honest. I thought we were going to be better. It seems we've got some sort of foreign player regulation in Mexico as well. People that are considered Mexican-born must qualify for some sort of quota that you've got to have in the squad or the starting 11 or something. And we've got a lot of players that don't seem to be considered Mexican-born. So that's going to be interesting to have a look at. A lot of dross in the squad. A couple of decent potentials. Yeah. It's going to take a bit of work, I'm afraid. That 25 million is going to come in handy. Okay, so we're in the off-season. We've not started the season, which is good. I was kind of panicking that we might come in mid-season or something like that. So we do have the opening stage league table. And I'll look more into that off camera and then talk to you about that when we come back in. Staff's not bad in the coaching areas. Probably do with a little bit of work. A few more scouts and physios needed, but yeah, we'll work as magic on this. So yeah, I'll go off camera, work as magic here, have a look at where we can make some changes in the squad, and then come back in. Okay, we're back. We've made some changes, bought a few players, sold a few players, tried to improve on the squad a little bit. So I'm fairly comfortable that we have a decent team here now, something that can potentially challenge. So we spent about 34.5 million and brought in 9.75. Some of the deals that I've made have been in instalments, just to try and flesh out that money a little bit better. There are a couple of areas, obviously I want to put my formation and my stamp on this team, so there are a couple of areas that we didn't have any players in, like defensive midfield. So I play with that half-back anchor role in the formation. We didn't have anyone to fit in with that, so I've had to buy 2 players there, a starter and a backup. And I made a couple of other areas that we've strengthened, like left wing. So Rodrigo Candido from Palmeiras, I think that is, SEP, has come in. A 7 million deal overall, which was fairly hefty. Alejandro Medina is the biggest outlay. He's a centre back. He's a very young left-footed centre back, which was an area that we needed. We brought Hannibal in because why not? He comes with us everywhere. He's his best friend. So we bought Hannibal from Gang 1. He'll play obviously centre midfield, but I needed somebody. The reason why, if you look on the outs, the majority of the money's gone on that one player, hasn't it? Geronimo Fernandez. Liverpool bought him for 8.75 million. He was the centre midfielder. He was the Mazzala in the team. So I needed to replace him, so why not go for somebody tried and tested in Hannibal? So Hannibal's come in to replace Fernandez. That Fernandez was actually a very, very good player. I wouldn't have sold him, but he had an £8.75 million release clause, so I didn't have a choice. He's gone. Let me show you him. Yeah, there you go. Not bad, eh? He's worth between 27 and 34 million now. 18-year-old. So yeah, gutting that I've not been able to keep hold of him. Bit disappointing, but you know, it is what it is. 18 passing, 17 technique, 15 vision, 17 work rate. He'd have been a good player for us, wouldn't he? Yes, very much. So there's been a couple of games already, but we've not played yet. This is who's in the league. So as well as us, some of the bigger teams near Pumas, they're a fairly big team. America are one of the biggest teams. They've got like an 80,000 seat stadium or something there. Humongous. Tigres, I think is how you pronounce it, are a big team in here and our arch rivals. So that will be an interesting matchup. And then a couple of other fairly decent sides. Cruz Azul are a decent side. Necaxa are a decent side. And I think it's Toluca. Oh, Shivers, sorry. Shivers are a decent side as well. A couple of decent sides in there, to be fair. There's a few teams that we should comfortably beat. A few teams that we might struggle against, but we'll see how it goes. Necaxa are the other team that offered me the job here in Mexico, but I held out for Monterrey. Interestingly as well, I was also interviewed for the Rosenborg job in Norway, and they offered me the role, and I asked them to wait a week because I was kind of waiting on Monterrey. Necaxa offered me the role, and I asked them to wait a week as well because I was holding out for this Monterrey job. And it was one of them where they interviewed you and it seemed to last for ages before they offered me the role. So I was a bit worried that it wasn't going to come to fruition, but I'm so glad it did. Yeah, really pleased to be here at Monterrey in Mexico. So this is a club info screen. It's kind of the last bit I'm going to show you before I jump forward. I will load up some kits for the next time. Just obviously wasn't thinking about coming here to start with, so I'll get the kits loaded in for Mexico so that you'll see the real kits in the next video. But yeah, really, this is a massive club for us. And something that we have done, I think. Continental A license, and we're studying for the Continental Pro, so we will be fully qualified before long. Right, I'm going to jump forward to midway through the season now, and we'll see how we've got on. Well, we won the opening stage, despite finishing third. We only lost one game, but we drew 6, and as you can see on your screen there was only 3 points that separated the top 4. So these, like I said to you at the start of the video, America, Tigres, us and Pumas are kind of the big 4. Cruz Azul are a good team, but it should probably be a big 5, to be fair. Cruz Azul should be in there and closer to Pumas and the rest of us than what they finished. Shivers and Necaxa are 2 decent teams, but they've struggled a little bit this season, finishing mid-table in this opening stage. So how this works, why nations do it this way, I have no idea. I just use the same format as the Premier League. It works really well. But now, so you play, there's 18 teams, so you play 17 games. It's randomised, a bit like every other league, that you know who you play at home and who you play away. And then at the end of the 17 games, I think it's the top 8 go through, or maybe the top 4 go through, get by, and then the rest kind of play each other in like a playoff, and then you go through to quarterfinals. These teams went through to the preliminary round, so Cruz Azul did finish 5th, so it must be from 5th to like 13th or something for the next 8 teams. So they go through to playoffs, play against each other, which I think is just 1 leg. So the teams that finish higher in the table must get the home advantage, is what I'm thinking. And then they join us in the quarterfinals. So I ended up playing Tijuana and beat them 6-3 on aggregate. Tigres, America and Cruz Azul got through, so Pumas actually went out despite finishing in the top 4. And then in the semi-final I got Tigres, I think it was. Yeah, there you go, Tigres and America beat Cruz Azul. I drew 0-0 away at Tigres and then beat them 2-1 at home, so it was very, very tight. Very tight. And then in the final, we actually lost at home 2-1, but we beat them away 3-1. So 3-0, sorry. So we had, beat them away 3-0, so I was fairly confident we were going to beat them in the final, but they still beat us 2-1, which was a bit surprising. So yeah, so despite finishing 3rd, we ended up winning the opening stage. Bit weird. The one defeat actually came away to Necaxa, who were mid-table. So the 10 games that we won, 4 home games, and then away to America we won 3 more home games, and then away to Toluca and Querétaro. And the 6 draws, only 1 home draw, which was at Leon, which was 0-0. And then away draws to Pumas, Cruz Azul, Tijuana, Tigres, and Puebla. I'm sorry if I'm butchering names, by the way, and you're Mexican or Spanish there, screaming at your monitor or phone or device at me. Well, I'm going to show you the Champions League first, because it went fairly well. We had Inter Miami, who we beat, Orlando City, who we beat, Alot FC, who we beat 5-1, and then Cruz Azul, who we beat 2-1. And then we've got to play Orlando City again, home and away this time, in the second round. So we got through the group stage fairly well. Show you the group. So that's how the group stage finished. You don't play them home and away in this, which is weird. Don't ask. But we won all 4 games, so I was fine. Valor were Canadian, and then 2 American teams and 2 Mexican teams, so bit of a strange setup, but it is what it is. We got through, and we're playing Orlando City, who was in our group, in the next round, which, again, weird. You shouldn't be playing teams from your group in the next round. Not only that, we got into this screen that didn't qualify, so I don't know, don't ask. Somebody from Mexico, tell me how it works. When it comes to the Leagues Cup, I have no idea what this is or how this works. But yeah, again, St. Louis City beat them 3-0 in Group 11. Cincinnati beat them 4-0 in Group 11, get through to the quarterfinals, and I'm playing St. Louis City again. So I beat them 2-1, which was at their ground. The first 2 games were at neutral grounds, but and then I got Cruz Azul at home and lost on penalties somehow. Don't know, no idea what happened, but we got knocked out in the semi-finals to a domestic rival. Disappointing. So I'll jump through to the end of the season now, play the games off camera, and we'll come back in. Okay. So, closing stage of the league table. We won every game. We only conceded 5 goals in 17 games. But we've played 17, won 17, scored 42, conceded 5. Don't ask. I mean, I don't know. I mean, we ended up playing most of the big teams at home, which helped. Played Cruz Azul at home. Played Necaxa at home, who beat us in the opening stage. Played Tigres at home, played America at home, so kind of those games that we drew last season, all in the opening stage, were predominantly away, weren't they? So I played those people at home this time and beat them, so I'm very surprised that we've won every game though. I mean, that is just, yeah, I think I've think I found a formation that's broke the game. And we've just got a very, we're a big club now. We're a big club in a decent league, but we are a big club. Yeah. How did we do in the cups? Well, you knew I were playing Orlando City, didn't you, in the second round of the North American Champions League. And we won the first leg 3-0, 4.7 XG, 37 shots, 17 on target. I mean, there could have been an annihilation, an absolute annihilation, but, for their benefit, they only conceded 3. Similar scoreline away, not quite as dominant performance, but yeah, another 3-0 win, 6-0 on aggregate, and through to the quarterfinals. I'm playing Santos Laguna, who are a club in my division, but a team that are mid-table, so I don't quite know how they got to the Champions League. They must have finished high up the previous season somehow, but they're not a very good side while I've been at Monterry. However, despite me winning every game in the league, I've struggled to get the win in this one. They've held out for a 1-1 draw, but I've got to play them at home. Only just though, 2-1. I mean, they were never really in the game, but yeah, it was a late consolation that they scored. When I scored in the first minute, I thought it was going to be dominant, but it wasn't, and we've scraped through, essentially, through to the semi-finals, where we were playing another Mexican team in America. And this was a comfortable win, 3-1 win. I mean, these are one of the biggest teams in Mexico, but we've not really struggled against them at all. We've been fairly comfortable in every game we've played against them. I think we drew with them away in the opening stage of the league, but other than that, we've beat them in every time we've played them. We played them in a friendly at pre-season as well, and we beat them in that. So yeah, 3-1 home win, but we've now got to go to their place, and we won that as well. I mean, to be fair, they were the better side, fairly even when it comes to shots and XG, but they had most of the possession. And it was a late winner from us, 89th minute, and we only scored our second goal in the 79th minute, so they were winning 2-1 with not long left, so it was closer than you might think, but we did scrape through, so we're in the Champions League final at the first attempt. And we are playing Cruz Azul, another Mexican team. I think this is the problem with the North American Champions League, is that there's no real decent teams outside Mexico. Major League Soccer in America has okay teams, but not compared to the Mexican team. So this is the team sorted by average rating so far. Gonzalez has scored 32 in 43. He's been fantastic. Anibal's got 14 assists in 51 games. Brilliant. Luis Uribe on the right-hand side plays that inside forward role. Told you earlier I brought him in from the youths. He's got better and better throughout the season. He's been brilliant. Had to bring a guy in called Alex Seawood, who is English. Brought him in to play the deep line playmaker. He's been good. Been quite impressed with him. We did end up losing that centre back, so Nate Diaz, for those of you that might remember. He got picked up by a European team, but we did bring in his replacement, which was Tomas Marquez. So he's come in and done just as good a job. He's been a great find. He's been a very, very good replacement. So it was Aston Villa, 8.25 million that Diaz went to. We lost the goalkeeper as well, Barinia. He went to Cruz Azul, funny enough, for 1 million. And German Berterame went to LA Galaxy for 1.5 million. A couple of other players left, nothing of any real significance apart from him. Rolando Martinez, I got 3.5 million for him. Yeah, he was the right back. I had another very, very good right back. I had 2 very good right backs, and he was taking up one of the foreign player quotas, so he went. Yeah, this is Marquez that come in to replace Diaz. Very good player, only 23, Argentinian. Plays very well, good player. So, here we are for the North American Champions League. Can we win this straight after winning the Asian Champions League? That'd be 2 Continental Cups. that we'll have won 2 Champions Leagues. Oh, was he offside? I hope he was offside. No, he wasn't. They've taken the lead after just 7 minutes, and it was a very, very good goal. And now we've got a corner as well. It's 2. It's 2-0 after 14 minutes. Oh dear. Come on, boys. I need to get back into this. Not the best of starts. Oh, Hannibal, it's the bar. I thought they were going to break away. Gonzalez plays it through, and oh, he's put it wide. Oh, keeper saved it, I think. Yeah, he did. It's another corner. Gonzalez is going to whip this one in, and again, we just can't get on the end of it. We've not had a very good start at all here. 2-0 down. Cruz Azul coming back to bite us in the bottom. After knocking us out of one cup competition, they're now going to knock us out in the final of the Champions League. Oh no. 2 shots, 2 on target, 2 goals. Horrendous. I'm getting FM'd. Oh, please don't be a penalty. Oh, thank God. I thought we were going from bad to worse. I'll take that. Take that all day. We're going to have to give these guys a right fire up at half time. Okay. We've tried to fire them up. Fire them up again from the touchline. Gonzalez. Cleared away. What is going on? I thought you were going to get sent off, that it's already been booked. That looked like a foul to me. Oh, Jesus. Come on. I'll change Gonzalez for Gonzalez. Oh, this is just unbelievable. I can't believe we've lost. Cruz Azul have done us. I can't believe how dominant we've been against other teams in the league, including Cruz Azul. And they've beaten us in the League Cup, and then beaten us in the Champions League final as well. That is gutting. Absolutely gutting. But it is what it is, unfortunately, isn't it? Hopefully we can learn from this and grow as a club. But that is heartbreaking. That is heartbreaking. It's not often I get to a final and lose. Right, we've got a few games to go play off camera. The closing stages of the First Division. So we've got the quarter-final, hopefully the semi-final and final. But I'm going to go play them all off screen. I'm not coming back in to do a live com. That was enough heartbreak for one live com. Yeah, so we'll go play that off camera, and then I'll come back in and just show you the end of season average ratings and things. So I've brought you back in really for the last few minutes of this game against Tigres, where we're at home. Although this game's 1-1, we beat them 4-0 away in the first leg, and we're 5-1 up on aggregate. This is the final of the closing stage of the Mexican League. So we beat America home and away in the semi-finals. Well, I think we drew with them away, but we beat them at home. And we got through the quarterfinals against Tijuana, 8-0 on aggregate. We beat them 6-0 at home, 2-0 away. So that was fine. Tigres actually beat Cruz Azul in the other semi-final, which is pleasing, because I think if we'd have played them, I'd have been panicking a little bit. They've taken the lead here, but I've made a number of changes and left out players that were tired despite them being first teamers, regular first teamers. So that's it. That's the first division closing stage. So we won the opening stage and now we've won the closing stage. The team's going to go pick up the trophy and we are essentially Mexican champions, which is great. We've just got to do better in the cup competitions, haven't we? Bit disappointed with those, really. That was just heartbreaking in the Champions League final. I thought we could have won back-to-back Champions Leagues in Asia and then North America. That would have been brilliant, but sometimes it's just not meant to be, is it? So hopefully we'll come back stronger next season and challenge for it again. So that's the team sorted by average rating. As you can see there, some very, very good players. We've got a very good squad. Just maybe need to add a couple of players to it to make it a bit stronger for next season, so we can be dominant against those other big teams, particularly in the continental competition. But other than that, I think we've got a good team, and keeping the majority of them together again for next season, particularly the better players. What I might try and do is look through all the contracts and just make sure anyone with a minimum fee release clause signs a new contract and gets that out of the way, so we don't fall foul to that again. So it's happened to us twice with two very, very good players that, you know, if we'd have kept hold of them, we might have done a treble, but never mind. So yeah, so that's it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for following this journey. Really appreciate your view. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. And leave a comment and a like, anything that you can to help the video grow, help the channel grow, the following grow. The more people that interact with these videos, the better it is for me to keep motivating me to keep going. So really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Have a great day and bye for now.